What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple Newtype, and in this episode, we are continuing our coverage of MSVR, The Return of Johnny Ridden. Last time, we learned about Lead Wayline and the Federation Survey Service. Universal Century 0091, information on the one-year war started becoming declassified. Lead is very interested in uncovering the mysteries regarding Johnny Ridden. This time, Lead will pilot a Type G Zaku as he goes up against the blue Galgoog he saw in his simulation. So let's get into this. Jacobius Node is waiting to meet with Oxner Cliff. When he enters, he informs him that they may be put to work in Luna 2. Also, someone has intercepted some simulator data and wants them to go check it out. Jacobius says that he is a dog, but he is a hunting dog and one who wants to pay his debts back. Oxner tells him about the others who are investigating Johnny Ridden candidates. He pulls out data most likely acquired from FSS, which shows they already knocked a few candidates off the list. As he leaves the room, Oxner's assistant wonders why he didn't tell Jacobius. He says that dogs don't need to know that kind of thing. Ooh, ominous. Lead, Remia, and Brandon are complaining about the desert heat. They are waiting for their new subject that Lead is going to study. A gunperry comes in from the distance. Lead didn't know gunperries were still in use. They are taken to their subject matter for the next 2 weeks. The MS-06G, Zaku 2 High Mobility Ground Type. We have been talking about this unit a lot recently. Go check out our video of the Noisy Fairy Squad where we talk about Alma's custom variant of this unit. We already know that this unit was a weird Zaku variant that was created before the goof went into production. But one thing we learn about this unit in the FSS data file is that Xeon engineers were able to apply assisting vernier thrusters to the legs and thus got an even higher output. All except for one beaten down version was found. It was fixed up, and FSS's job is to test this last remaining variant. Suddenly, they get a red alert. From their 12 o'clock, a bunch of bandits are coming their way to attack, most likely to steal supplies. They are made up of a bunch of rogue soldiers that went AWOL with their mobile suits to form a mob. EFF suggests that they evacuate, but they can't leave the last working Type G unit here. Remia tells Lead to get into the unit. He complains about not being good at Xeon mobile suits. The battle wages on. In the distance happens to be Jacobius, who is watching. He is using the bandits as a distraction. His units are using Quels. The RGM-79Q Quel is a mass-produced general-purpose mobile suit, originally intended to be used by the Titans. If you remember the end of 0083 Stardust Memory, the Titans are formed and they are given this unit. This unit uses the RGM-79N Custom as a base. It has a simplified design and lighter armor. It also has improved sensors for communication. Due to the increased funding by the Titans, the Quel also gained the option of being armed with a beam rifle. Other weapons include 60mm Vulcans, an eye-field beam saber, the option to use the 90mm GM rifle, a 90mm bullet machine gun, and many other GM weapons. This GM will go on to be the basis for the Gundam Mark II. Back at the base, Lead gets into the Zaku. Remia tells him to skip to step 235 in the test procedure. We don't got time for basics. He begins startup procedures. Remia is running tests as well when she accidentally kicks a Xeon branded Hado. We cut to Oxner, who brings up Adenauer's name. This is Quest's father and Vice Foreign Minister of Earth. Back in the Zaku 2, out of the chaos comes the blue Galgoog. Lead notes that this is the same Galgoog he saw in the simulator. Jacobius is watching on and knows that the pilot is someone named Uma. This is the Uma Lightning Custom. The MS-14B Galgoog Uma Lightning Custom is a customized high-mobility type Galgoog modified exclusively for Uma Lightning. The head unit is different from the regular Galgoog, and its high-mobility backpack has also been improved. It has tanks on the legs like the Galgoog cannon to extend operating time. It also has a magnetic coating and uses Gundarium alloy. It is equipped with the twin beam sword, a beam rifle, a triple missile pod, a 360 giant bazooka, a shield, a twin beam spear, and a 6.6 megawatt output beam rifle called the Redayin rifle. More on Uma soon. The Galgoog uses its chonky thrusters to hover as if it were a Dom. Lead's machine guns run out of ammo real quick. He drops the gun and runs for a Magella top cannon left by the bandits. However, he can't use it. The bandits must have modified the fire control system. Remember, when a mobile suit grabs a weapon, weapon, it is like a USB drive. It goes through certain protocols to connect the weapon to the mobile suit. Those protocols can be rewritten. He has to switch to manual. The Gelgoog rushes in. The system suddenly connects, and he is able to shoot. As the Gelgoog slices off the Zaku's arm, Led gets a shot off, taking out the Gelgoog's arm as well. Out of nowhere, an Ashimar comes rushing in. The Ashimar is rocking the unicorn emblem. It is Broglie and the 13th MS team. The Ashimar comes in and attacks, and then runs away over and over again until the Gelgoog retreats on a Dodai Kai. Broglie notes that he wonders why Uma showed up earlier and that plans are moving faster than expected. Led wonders how he was able to fire the Magella top. Later that night, Rimia also wonders how Led was able to do something so instinctively. She flashes back to him complaining about not being able to pilot Zeon mobile suits. She starts to become suspicious as she looks at the Zeon Hado. Rimia has a conversation with FSS member Scott, which just is a thinly veiled attempt at doing an exposition dump. FSS was formed at the end of the one-year war under the Weapons Research Committee. Its goal is the research of Federation and Zeon weaponry that was created during this time. The first chairman was Oxner, during which the organization went under a lot of restructuring. The funding comes from the Federation Parliament's budget, but it usually isn't enough and they rely heavily on donations. Scott notes that the Republic of Zeon is a major sponsor to their budget. In this document, we see Jamatov Hyman's name, but more importantly, we see Hoth Faiseller. He is the grandfather of Leo Faiseller, the main protagonist of the plot to assassinate Giran. Go check out our coverage of that manga. It is such a good read. After the war, both the Republic and EFF have vested interest in FSS. We know that Zeon Department of Peace was investigating similar things before they got rolled into FSS when Zeon lost the war. Scott also brings up that their boss, Joel Brocken Hoover, has high expectations of them. Rimia mentions that she never met Hoover. He was a former captain and mobile suit pilot. He is also the one who brought Led onto the team. She goes back to work to find Led and Brandon, who are looking over the Gelgoog data. They talk about the added magnetic coating and note that this is something that is seen on a lot of Federation mobile suits. Even though the Act Zaku also uses magnetic coating, Rimia believes that the Gelgoog was made by the Federation or at least maintained by them. Led wonders, then why use such an old Zeon mobile suit just to add new tech to it? Old tech still has its limitations. She says that it could be that they are using a Gelgoog to send a message. Jacobius steps out of the car to visit FSS. He is ready to have a reunion with Johnny Ridden. Jacobius introduces himself as the president of PMC Themis. He got word that FSS ran into a blue Gelgoog. He tells Rimia that PMC is full of former EFF, Zeon, and Titans, so he gets intel quite fast. He wants intel on their run-in with the blue Gelgoog. However, he wants to give them a gift for helping. He pulls out a picture of the blue Gelgoog. It is traveling by a Zanzibar Kai-class ship, the Chimera. The Zanzibar Kai-class ship, the Chimera, is very similar to the original Zanzibar, but the cargo bay is moved to the rear to allow for more mobile suit capacity. It has its own catapult deck and a residential deck. It is equipped with a 4 megaparticle gun, 2 J missile launch tubes, and a 5 2-barrel anti-craft gun. The ship belonged to the mysterious special forces group, the Chimera Corps. This Zanzibar was made specifically in response to White Base. It was supposed to be a mass-produced upgrade to the Zanzibar, but only 3 were made, 1 going to the Chimera Corps. The others were never used. No one knows the status of this ship. Jacobius wants to exchange data on the Gelgoog for data on the Chimera. Rimia wonders what is his interest in the Chimera Corps. He says that he believes the rumors of the treasure of the Zabi family are hiding on that ship. He says that the Chimera Corps is composed of the best pilots and commanders. But why would you have the best all in one spot? To help raise overall skills and morale, you would take your best soldiers and disperse them as commanders throughout your ranks to diversify and increase overall skills. So why did Caecilia bring the best under one roof? And why did she do practically nothing with the Chimera Corps? Jacobius believes that their main purpose was most likely to protect the treasure of the Zabi family. This is all just rumors, of course. Led walks in and has a brief talk with Jacobius. He leaves and tells Oxner that he doesn't believe that Led Wayline is Johnny Ridden. We learn that he is actually a former Chimera Corps member himself. When he hangs up on Oxner, he says that Led Wayline may indeed be Johnny Ridden. He says it is possible he could have changed his looks and voice, but he couldn't change the way he holds himself. That, along with Uma Lightning's interest in him, makes him think that it may be Johnny. Meanwhile, in the Amazon basin, the Blue Gelgoog is with a team of Zagok-E's. The MSN-07E Zagok-E is an experimental version of the Zagok that improves on its rapid-fire power. The missile launchers were also replaced with torpedo launchers. Its limbs are retractable to make it cruise better underwater. It also has a standardized cockpit under the United Maintenance Plan. It has a jetpack that allows the mobile suit to shoot out of the water and onto land. It is also equipped with a vice claw, a pair of forearm beam cannons, and a torpedo launcher. Uma Lightning is looking for the ruins of the old EFF headquarters. And that will do it for this episode. We are starting to learn a little bit more of Johnny Ridden's Chimera Corps. Was the best of Zeon used only as guards for Zeon's ultimate treasure? And just what might that treasure be? It is starting to become the Zeon equivalent of the Dirty Dozen. Or that episode of The Simpsons where Bart helps Abe get a World War II treasure before Mr. Burns? Man, The Simpsons really did do everything first. Next time, we will learn about a goof that can attach a mini dop to its back. Also, Led and Jacobius will work together to fight the Blue Gelgoog. But that will do it for now, Newtypes. Remember, the real secret zombie treasure is giving this video a like. Peace.